Good morning. Welcome to our Foundational Fitness Seminar and Initial Test. Glad you guys are here. Thank you guys for putting your trust in me and this program. I'm really excited for you guys to go through it. This morning, we'll go over what the challenge is, the pre-test, the retest, nutrition guidelines that we're going to be recommending for you guys. We'll go over all of that. I've got a few copies of FAQ sheets. If you guys are interested in that, it should be able to help you out. I will also share with you in a digital form the food list and the FAQs. All right, so you guys will have all of that in digital form as well. So didn't want to have to cut down a ton of trees and print a bunch of copies. So I've got a few copies, but not a ton right now. But I will share all of that with you guys as we go, okay? And I'll have all that to you guys hopefully by this afternoon is the goal, to have it to each and every one of you by this afternoon. Let's talk about, so we're gonna be going from Monday through July 23rd. That is a Sunday. Ideally, we are able to do our retest or our test today, if not by Monday at the latest, and then our retest either the 22nd or 23rd of August. The nice thing is you guys are gonna have a really good idea of what the test looks like. And so you should understand it and be able to do it on your own or with just minimal guidance from one of the coaches or myself, all right? I mean, it's pretty simple, right? Once you get into it, it's pretty simple. I'm not gonna give you guys any tips on how to approach the test, all right? The workout. You guys are left to your own accord. If you want to come out guns blazing, awesome. If you want to come out and take your time and be really cautious about it, great. Whatever your workout style is, I want you guys to approach this workout in that manner, okay? Once we get through it, I'll give you guys some tips as we go to approach it again that second time. One thing I do ask for you is not only will you put your score in the test, and that is in our regular track on SugarWOD, so put your score there, but I really need you guys to make some notes. And I think I've got a blurb in there. Just let me know how it feels during the rounds. Take stock. You're gonna have a minute of rest at the end of each round. Well, take stock in how you're feeling. I know how I felt. I've taught Nathan how he felt. Jacob has tested this. I understand how it's gonna go, but I want y'all's feedback as well. It'll be really important as we move through. A couple of things. The workouts that I'm gonna give you guys, it's gonna be in SugarWOD. It's under a separate track. Believe I have all of you added to that track already. It's a private track. So when you pull up your SugarWOD, you've got the picture, and then below you've got the workout, right? In between, there's a little icon that says switch. If you hit that icon that says switch, it'll give you a drop down. Some of you guys are familiar because you've done Elite Track and things like that, but it'll give you an icon that allows you to switch your track. You can click on that and you guys will be able to see, just like you do with the regular workouts, 7 days in advance. All right? So there's 3 workouts in there already this coming week. They will be on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday every week. One of the workouts will be the Run Club workout each week. All right. With that being said, there will be a short little video is my goal, or a short little video or a note in how to approach each workout. And if you want to get the most out of this, I would approach it in the manner that I give you, that I recommend for you. All right. Let's save the intensity for our workouts in class and save the foundational pieces, or save, we'll approach those workouts in the manner that I give you guys. Does that sound fair? Yeah? Awesome. You need to do at least 2 of those workouts every week. Those are separate from class. I don't want to interfere with any classes, so ideally, if you can, do those outside of a class setting. All right? Now, if there's no rowers being used and we're not taking up a whole lot of space, and there's a rowing workout extra, and you check with the coach before and they're like, oh yeah, you can do that off to the side, awesome, do it. Just like what we do with the Elite Track stuff. Those of y'all that do that, all right? But you've got 24-hour access all weekend. Those workouts don't have to be done on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You can do them anytime. But that's the days that they will be listed. So those are the days you'll know to look for them. Okay? Like I said, I expect 2 of those workouts every week to be done. All right? Now how the challenge works. We're going to be doing those 2 workouts. We have our initial test and our retest. I'm also giving you guys a nutrition piece, a nutrition component. This is a highly recommended nutritional component. It is not required. Okay? What we're going to do is there will be a winner of the challenge. It is not going to be the person that followed it to a T or the person that made the most. No. What we're going to do is this. Every day that you come in, you're going to track, did I eat off the nutrition plan that day? If you did, you get to put an X next to your name. We're going to have a sheet or a board that's got your names on it. All right? You get to put an X next to your name. Every time you do one of those extra workouts, you're going to get credit for that. All right? As long as you enter it in SugarWOD. I'll be checking that. At the end of the challenge, for every day that you follow the nutrition plan or the nutrition guidance, and every day that you do one of the extra workouts, you're going to get your name into a drawing. And then we'll do a drawing for the winner. All right? So the goal there is to not penalize you guys for not necessarily following a nutrition plan on some of the days, because I know 6 weeks can be a long time, and there are going to be times that we slip up. You know, you got to out to eat with our family or something like that, and you can't find something perfect for you. That's okay. You can still get credit for those other days, and you'll still be in the running to win. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay, cool. Sound fair? Awesome. Any questions so far? No? Excellent. All right, let's talk about the nutrition aspect of this real quick, and then we'll talk about the workout. We'll break out. If you got any questions, we'll do that real quick. And we'll break out and get ready for our workout. All right, so you guys saw this post that I posted a while back. Eat meat and veggies, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. That is going to be the nutrition for this. We're going to give you guys a meal or foods list. This is not all-encompassing. It is not exhaustive. Like if I were to put together an exhaustive one, it would take me several pages to do. And you guys are going to have a ton of food on there already. Now, if you like something that maybe you don't see on there and you think it could fall in the parameters, reach out to me and ask. Perfectly fine. All right? As you guys can see, eat meat and veggies. That's going to be the focus. That's the top. All right? The bulk of our food should come from meat and vegetables. And there are a ton of meats and vegetables on that list. And with that being said, doesn't matter what kind of meat. Don't sit there and think, oh, we're going to do the old standard bodybuilding workout and we're going to eat just lean chicken breast the whole time, right? No. Man, eat steak, eat seafood, eat pork. We're going to give you guys some recipes. If you see a recipe, I know Nathan has talked about this, and I'll share that here in a little bit. You see a recipe, it's like, I love that, but maybe somebody in my family doesn't really like pork. Maybe you could substitute it with chicken, right? Vice versa. Maybe they love chicken or they don't like chicken, but they would do that recipe with pork and it makes sense. You can do that. Do that. Focus on those things. If you're hungry for a snack, eat. I'm not telling you guys you need to eat only particular times throughout the day. All right? As long as you're eating real food, you're eating. If you're hungry, eat more. All right? Eat till you're full. Now don't eat till you're miserable. It's a lot harder to eat till you're miserable when you're eating whole foods. So like I said, with these 2 things, it's eat all you want. Now, with nuts and seeds and fruit, we're going to guide you guys and recommend that 1 to 2 servings of nuts and seeds or like things like peanut butter, almond butter, those kind of things, 1 to 2 servings of that a day. Now, if you feel you need a little more of those fats, and you need a little bit more, maybe you need like something like an extra tablespoon of peanut butter to get you through, eat it. All right? Now I do recommend if you're gonna eat nuts, seeds, or some of those different nut butters that you can have, let's make sure that if I'm doing, say, peanut butter or almond butter, I'm getting a variation that is literally just the nuts and salt. Crushed up nuts and salt, all right? I don't want any added sugars in that. That's where the no sugar comes in, all right? Don't want any added sugars to it. So, if you're not sure what brands, I can help you figure that out. I know we've got a peanut butter brand we love that is literally just peanuts and salt. And it's really good. It's just kind of a pain in the butt because you gotta stir it up every time. So you get to burn a few extra calories before you eat it. All right? Any questions on the nuts and seeds yet? All right, we have fruits. We recommend 1 to 2 servings of fruit a day. Now, I'm not gonna hold you to that. If you're like, man, blackberries are in season, I love them, I wanna crush some, I'm getting ready to be outside and do some work, have all you want. But like I said, it's whole foods. It's gonna be fairly hard to overeat those things. There are gonna be recommended fruits on there. The fruits that we're gonna recommend are gonna have a lower impact on your blood sugars. So most of the food that we recommend is gonna have a very low impact on blood sugar. And that is the goal for this, all right? And I'll get into the weeds of why that is here in a second. This says little starch. Now, if you have some rice or you have some potatoes, I don't frown on that, but as far as this nutrition plan goes, those won't be included. So if you're like, I did really good, but I had a cup of white rice, that does not count towards me following the meal plan for that day or the nutrition plan for that day. Again, don't hold that against yourself, all right? Some of us might feel like we need white rice or a sweet potato here and there. Just know the reason I'm not recommending those things right now is because, like I said, we're trying to keep the impact on your blood sugar as low as possible. And I know, and if you want the science, I can share it with you in a separate setting, but I understand that while there's nothing inherently wrong with either of those foods, white potatoes, sweet potatoes, white rice, brown rice, they've all got their place. But they all can have a significant impact on your blood sugar levels, all right? Especially if you have any form of insulin resistance. And so we wanna shy away from that during this challenge. Sound fair? Any questions so far? No questions so far? Okay. Last up, let's talk about why we're kind of following this and why CrossFit recommends this type of eating protocol. 88% of the United States has one of the 5 metabolic markers that indicate that you are working towards metabolic syndrome, which metabolic syndrome would, that would be these 5 markers that they pull together to say, are you at risk of heart disease, cancer, stroke, all of those things. When you have one or more of those markers elevated, puts you at a raised risk of some of those other chronic diseases, all right? 60% of the United States has a chronic disease, literally 60%, right? So that means more than half of us hopefully don't, but potentially have a chronic disease. Maybe not in this room because you guys all take your health fairly seriously. You're in here pretty consistently and I applaud you for that. 40%, and some metrics say greater than 40% of the United States have either prediabetes or diabetes that is either known or undiagnosed, which is just wild to me. If I go into a room with 10 people, I know that most likely at least 4 of them, whether they know it or not, have diabetes or prediabetes, all right? And the biggest culprit that drives all of these things is insulin resistance, okay? Insulin resistance starts to happen up to 10 years before you could be diagnosed with either prediabetes or diabetes or heart disease or any of those other crazy things, all right? Insulin resistance is already starting up to 10 years before those things happen, all right? And so the biggest driver of insulin resistance is uncontrolled blood sugar. So that's where we've kind of come to this type of nutrition plan. Any questions so far? I will say this is my experience with eating this way, and now you guys all know me. You guys know I'm probably not doing much of this or any of this, right? I don't frown on that. I love vegetables. I just choose not to eat them. I love fruit. I asked Kim the other day, hey, pick up a thing of blackberries. I love blackberries during this time of year. So I'll eat some of that here and there. But what I have found when I eat this way is that early on, like, I'm pretty famished throughout the day. I'll eat big. I'll eat big meals, lots of food, and I'll feel hungry throughout the day. Not crazy hungry, but just a little hungry because I'm compensating because I've gone from eating processed foods to eating whole foods. And so my body is still craving some of those processed foods. I told Kim last night, I truly believe I am a sugar addict. I have a sugar or processed food addiction. I'm one of those, it's like I can't, like, if she fixes a pan of brownies, she can eat one brownie and be good with it. My serving size is not one brownie. My serving size is the rest of the pan that she didn't eat. And I can't help it, all right? And so I understand that. So I need to be very vigilant in not falling off. And what I've found is that when I eat this way, after about a week, I start to notice I'm not nearly as hungry throughout the day. After a couple weeks, my meals start getting a little bit smaller. After 3 weeks, what I've really noticed is my energy levels start to come up. I start sleeping a little better, and I start eating slower. Like my normal breakfast might take me 5 minutes to eat when I first start. When I get a few weeks in, it feels like it takes forever for me to eat that much food. Everything starts to slow down for me, and I start to feel a lot better, all right? The weight loss, body composition, all that falls into place down the road. But those 3 things that happen for me are the first 3 things I notice, and I really enjoy those things, all right? Do I have any questions about the nutrition aspect? Again, I'm gonna share the food list with you, and there are a ton of foods. There are a ton of foods. And like I said, it's not exhaustive. There might be something you're like, oh, I noticed he didn't include this green vegetable, which I know is probably low carbohydrate. Reach out to me. Chances are I'm gonna tell you, yeah, go for it, all right? So yeah, there we are with the foods. So we've gone over what the workouts will look like, what we expect from you there, what the nutrition will look like. Y'all ready to talk about today's test? Yes? All right, let's do it. So, 4 minutes of work, 1 minute of rest in a death by style. So what that means is I'm doing rounds of this as long as I can complete either the reps that are required in these 2 minutes or maintain the average pace of the watts that are required for the rower, okay? If any of those fall off, so say I'm up here and I'm really high on that rower watt, and you've got 2 numbers, it'll tell you watts that you're currently rowing, and it'll tell you average watts. The average watts is what we're gonna be looking at and looking for. If I'm looking at and I'm supposed to be rowing 210 watts, and I'm like barely holding like 190, 195, and I drop down and it bounces back up, and I drop down for more than like 5 seconds, you're done, all right? Does that make sense? Now, so we've got rowing. We're gonna row for watts. A lot of us haven't done that before, or if we have, it's been a while. It's a different metric, similar to calories. It's a power metric, how much power you're putting out, basically. All right? Guys are gonna row at 60 watts to start, ladies at 50. It's gonna feel like you're doing nothing. It really will, I promise. Don't row faster just because it feels really slow. Try to row at that pace, because all of this work is gonna catch up to you towards the end. All right? So you'll do that for 1 minute and 45 seconds of that first 2 minutes. Minute 3, we're doing burpee to a touch, 4 reps. Same way we do it when we do it in class, right? Chest to the ground, jump up. We need to have a post that we're reaching to, or bar that we're reaching to, that's at least 6 inches above our fingers. If we're one of us that just isn't gonna work for our bars, jump up, try to touch your wrist to a consistent place. All right, we'll figure that out for you. And then from there, we've got 11 empty bar thrusters, 45 pounds for guys, 35 pounds for ladies, or 33 pounds for ladies actually. So the same weight we did for Jackie a couple of weeks ago. All right, so minute 1 and 2 row at that pace. Minute 4, 4 burpees to a touch. Minute 3, minute 4 will be the thruster. Minute 5 will be a rest, 1 minute. So you get a full minute rest. All right, So if you get through this pretty quickly, the 11 thrusters, you're going to have 90 seconds of rest going into the next round. Might be a good thing. Each round, guys are going to add 30 watts, ladies are going to add 25. So guys, it goes 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, 270 if we get there. Ladies, it's going up by 25, so it's 50, 75, 100, all right? We're going to do 2 groups today, and that way you'll have somebody that can kind of help you know where you're supposed to be with that, all right? 2 burpees every round is what we're going to add, and then 1 thruster each round, okay? So in the second round, you're going to be doing 6 of the burpees to a touch and 12 thrusters, then 8, 13. Any questions? Again, we're going to go to, some people might find that the burpees to a touch, we're just never going to be super fast on that, and that might be where we get caught up. And that's okay, because some of the workouts that we do over the next 6 weeks are going to be more about developing that skill to be more proficient in that movement, all right? I don't know that many of us, unless that's just a really heavy weight for you, that many of us are going to struggle with the thrusters until the later rounds, and then it'll just be the time to get it done. Where I think most of us are going to hit a wall is on the rower at some point. And to me, this workout was not hard on the rower until it was, and then it was hard on the rower, all right? Questions, comments? Do I have anybody that needs to be out of here as quickly as possible? I know Richard does. Okay, so Richard, go in heat 1 when we do this, all right? If anybody else needs to get out of here pretty quickly, hit me up here in a second. But what we're going to do, we're going to stop. We're going to start warming up. I'll go over a quick little warm up for you guys. The first couple of rounds, Nathan can attest to this, first couple of rounds is kind of like a warm up. It's your warm up. So we're not going to spend a lot of time. We're just going to make sure you're ready to squat to death right now. Okay? All right.